I've had the INFINIX SMART 10 Plus for about 2 weeks and I have been putting it through its paces. Today, I want to give you a quick overview of everything that I've found using this phone, what I think about it, who this phone is meant for, and if you should spend your money buying it. First off, let's address the elephant in the room, the design of this phone. A lot of people have likened it to what the Pixel looks like and even the upcoming iPhone 17 series. It almost looks as though Infinix has released a phone from the iPhone 17 series before Apple got a chance to actually announce one. And the way that this phone looks is actually pretty impressive. We've had so many years of phones having their cameras lined up behind them in a certain particular way that just kind of got boring. Seeing something like this is definitely very refreshing, and I love the kind of layout that they have on the back. The way it just looks on the back looks different. You also have to consider the fact that this is actually still a budget phone. This phone is only 126,000 naira. Most budget phones these days come in at that price, and I don't think you'd find another phone at that price that looks better than this. Now, when you consider the price of this phone, you also don't expect it to be a high performer. You're not gonna buy this phone because you want to play CODM on the IS settings. That's not what this phone is made for. It's a phone for somebody who maybe needs a second phone that they're gonna use for phone calls and playing light games like Candy Crush and just reserving battery life, because the battery on this phone is actually pretty good. We're going to talk about that more in a second. And maybe young people, a student that's getting their first phone, going to university, older people too, people who don't really care too much about trying to play things like CODM on their phone, they're going to love this phone, especially because it looks better than all the other old people's phones. I better pass my neighbor, or how do they say that thing? The chip inside of this is the T7250, which again is not a mid-range chip, it's not a flagship chip, it's just something that gets the phone going. Performance-wise, it's going to perform very well with your day-to-day tasks. You're gonna get your AI assistant in Flagship, and you're going to be able to use it to ask questions, solve problems, whatever issues you're having. You don't need to first go and download another app before you use it. Just holding down the power button here is going to launch Flagship, and then you can get that stuff done. According to Infinix themselves, this phone has been tested to work and remain smooth for about 4 years, which again, I cannot confirm or deny because I've only had it for 2 weeks and I doubt I am going to actually have this phone for up to 4 years. But if you do buy it and you intend to use it for 4 years, please come back in 2029 and let me know in the comment section if the phone is still serving you very well. Now, surprisingly for a budget phone, the display on this phone is pretty impressive. At 120Hz refresh rate with a 6.6-inch screen that actually looks really good with 700 nits of brightness, you can actually still use this phone in direct sunlight. It's not going to be the brightest thing, but you can definitely see what's going on, reply your messages, use your social media without too much hassle. Now, the phone is about 6.6 inches for the screen size, and it's quite handy. It should be a big phone, right? But it's 2025, so really small phones have gotten really big as well. This feels very handy, doesn't feel like all the other big phones on the market, and for a budget phone, it definitely feels nice to hold. So this phone is actually fairly durable with an IP64 rating, which basically means it's fairly dust and water resistant, not proof. So if you had like some issues with splash, maybe you were working in the kitchen, you were washing plates or something and your phone fell in a bowl of water, you took it out, your phone will be completely fine. Just as long as it's not submerged for too long and you don't just leave it there to rot. Now this phone, for a budget phone, also did something that surprised me. It has dual speakers, which means you get the best quality out of your entertainment. So whether it is Netflix you're consuming, YouTube videos, it actually sounds really good, especially for Netflix. The speakers on this are something called ultra speakers, and you can actually increase the volume by about 300% of what they should normally be. I'll be careful not to do that too often so I don't bust the speakers, but it's something you can do and it's an option if it's something that you need. Now this phone comes with a 6,000 mAh battery, which is quite a lot, to be honest. The average phone around this price point is giving you 5,000 milliamps, 5,200 milliamps, but at 6,000 you can probably go a full day with this and a little more. So if you're a student and maybe there's epileptic electricity supply in your school, this is probably the perfect phone to buy if you're looking at a phone at this price point, because again, it will last you a day and more. Inside of the box, however, you also get an 18-watt fast charger. Now you might argue that the standard/average at this price point is 15 watts. 18 watts is not that much different. Yes, you'd be right, but at all 9 baht pass, they still give you 3 more watts. 18 watts fast charging for a phone that you're only paying 126,000 naira for is definitely a win. Because it's 2025 and almost none of you can do any of your assignments without AI and going to ChatGPT, it must be nice to be able to have a phone that has the Flagship assistant in it and you can do all your assignments and all your work using that assistant. That way you don't have to worry about paying for ChatGPT Plus or ChatGPT Pro or anything like that, or GPT 4.0 Flagship is completely free and it comes with your phone that costs only 126,000 naira. Now there are other features as well, like the tap to share, where you can very quickly send files, and you can also use something called the flash call feature, which basically turns your phone into a walkie-talkie without you having to spend money to talk to people. So you want to signal to your friends that you're around or you're available, you want to send a quick message, you can actually use the flash call feature to do this very easily. The flash call feature is available in a few countries. Notable among them would be Nigeria, Kenya, and Tanzania. I believe some parts of the Middle East as well, but personally I have not visited, so I cannot know for sure. Ultimately, I can sit here and give you an overview of this phone from tomorrow till next month, but the truth is, you already probably know in your mind that you want this phone is why you're watching this video. At that price point, you don't have too many options, and the few options you do have, you have to be careful what you eventually choose. Now that we both agree and know that this phone is an option for you, let's talk about why you might want to pick this phone over everything else on the market at this price. First off, it's the design. It looks different than everything else that you're going to find at this price. The color options are also pretty nice, but personally, I like the white one best. That's why I got this one. The battery life of the phone at 6,000 mAh is not something that you're going to be able to get at this price point from any other brand right now. But correct me if I'm wrong. If there's another phone that's giving you that amount of battery with an 18-watt fast charger in the box, let me know in the comments. At 126,000 naira, which is probably what I'm paying for 3 months of GPT-4o, you get a phone that actually does everything that GPT-4o will do for you because you have Flagship. You might notice that throughout this video, I never actually talked about this camera or the cameras on this phone. It's not really because the cameras don't work. Oh, I promise they work. If I on the camera now, see, it's working. You understand? It works perfectly fine. The only issue is the camera itself is not what's doing most of the work, because you actually have the AI cam feature with this phone. Now, the camera on the front and the back of the phone are only 8 megapixels a piece. So the quality of the photos you're going to be able to get out of this phone will be heavily dependent on the quality of lighting that you have. So if you're indoors and you have very good lighting, your photos will probably still come out fine after the AI processes them. And if you're outdoors, you probably have a better chance of getting really good photos because, you know, most people don't have good lighting indoors. Ultimately, that is my overview of the INFINIX SMART 10 Plus. Hopefully this has convinced and not confused you to buy this phone. Thank you so much for watching, and I guess I will see you on another video that was shot by Kagan. You're welcome.